Hey guys, this is subtracting using the standard algorithm. Okay, you've already been working with the standard algorithm for addition, and subtracting is very similar to adding with the standard algorithm. So if you look along the side here, the steps. Step 1, we're still going to line up the numbers by the place value. So let's take our first example here, 372 minus 131. So let's first line the numbers up by their place values. So I'm going to put 372 minus 131. We'll make sure that's 1 is in the hundreds and 3 is in the hundreds, so 131. Now, step 2. Start subtracting with the smallest place value. Well, that's just like the addition. Thank goodness, right? You don't have something else to remember. All right, so let's start with the smallest place value, which is the ones, and let's do the subtraction. Now, you have to be careful because we are taking the top amount and subtracting or taking away the bottom digit. So here we have 2 minus 1, or 2 take away 1, or 2 subtract 1. So if I have 2 and I subtract 1, can I do that? I sure can, because I have enough. I have 2 and I'm only taking 1 off. So what is 2 take off 1? That is 1. So I didn't need to regroup because I had enough. Let's go to the next one. So we're going to go to the tens. Well, I'm starting with 7 tens and I'm trying to take away 3 tens. Well, do I have enough tens to do that? Yes, I have more on top. So 7 tens minus 3 tens, I don't need to regroup. I have enough to subtract. That is 4 tens that are left. Then I go to my hundreds place. I have 3 hundreds. I'm trying to subtract 100. Therefore, I have enough hundreds to subtract. So 3 minus 1 is 2. So 372 minus 131 is 241. Let's see if our answer is reasonable. Let's round these. 372 to the nearest hundred would be 400. Go back and look at that video if you don't understand why 372 is close to 400. And 131 is close to 100. So let's subtract these. 400 minus 100 is about 300. Is our answer close to that? Sure, 241. It's more than 200, so we're approaching 300. So our answer is reasonable. We did not have to regroup this time. So now let's take another example down here. 1,232 minus 524. So let's go back to step 1. Line up the numbers by their place value. So first I'm going to put 1,232 and I'm going to subtract 524. I need to be careful. This is 500, so I need to find the hundreds place in this number. 2 is in the hundreds place, so I'm going to put the 5 right underneath it. 524. So now that I've lined them up, we're going to start subtracting with the smallest place value, which is the ones. So let's take a close look at this. I have 2 ones, only 2. So I'm trying to take 4 from it. Is that possible? Can I take 4 away from 2? No, I cannot. So now I'm going to need to regroup and rename to get some help with the ones. So let's go next door to the tens. That's my next place value up. So if I take 110 from the tens place, I'll end up with only 2 tens. But remember, I'm bringing that 10 to the ones. So if I bring that 110 to the ones place, how many ones do I get for that 10? Of course, you get 10 ones. Well, I have 2 ones plus 10 more ones from that 10 I just borrowed. Then I would end up with 12 ones. Now I can do the subtraction. 12 minus 4 ones would give me 8 ones left. Now I move to the next place value. I have 2 tens. I'm trying to subtract 2 tens. Can I do that? Sure. I can take 2 from 2. I would be left with nothing, so I don't need to regroup there. Now I move to the 100s place. I have 2 hundreds here, but I'm trying to take 5 hundreds. Can I do that? No. 5 is more than 2, so I cannot take 5 from 2. So I'm going to need some help for my hundreds. So I'm going to look next door, and I have some thousands here. I have 1,000. So if I take that 1,000 over to my hundreds place, I'll have how many thousands left? None. I've taken the one and only 1,000 over to the hundreds. Now, of course, when I take this over to the hundreds place, 1,000 is equal to how many hundreds? Well, that's easy. We know our exchange in their system is 10, because 10 100ths equals 1,000. So if I have 10 100ths plus the 2 hundredths that I already have here, how many hundredths would I have? That's right, I would now have 12 hundredths sitting in my hundredths place. So now I can do the subtraction. 12 hundredths minus 5 hundredths is 700. Now I have 0 thousandths, and I'm not taking any thousands away, so that's all that I have left. So now step 3, check if my answer is reasonable by estimating. So if I estimated, I'll put this in blue, our estimated for 1,232 to the nearest thousand, this would be 1,000, because 200 is not more than halfway. 524 rounded to the nearest hundred would be 500. Now, if I did the subtraction, my answer is 500. Well, my answer is not that close to 500. It's okay. So I need to look at how I estimated here. Now, since I estimated my smallest number to the hundredths, let's go back and let's see what happens if we rounded our thousands to the nearest hundred. So 1,232 rounded to the nearest hundred would be 1,200. Now let's see what we get with this for our estimate. So of course 0 minus 0, 0 minus 0. Well, I can't do 2 minus 5, so again I got to do a little regrouping here. So this would end up 12 again. And 12 minus 7 is, 12 minus 5 is 7. So now we see that our estimate is very close to our exact amount. So, again, subtracting using the standard algorithm is very similar to the addition. The only difference is that instead of combining the amounts in each place value, we are taking one amount away from the other number. So, our answer is reasonable. So now, if you would, take the time, I told you have your notebook and your pencil paper, try the following problem. 1,345 minus 576. is equal to what number? Okay. Pause it, work it out, and then check your solution, which I'll have right below it here. Alright, so what should you do? You should first step was put these in the right place value and with the right numbers, of course. 576. Okay. Alright, we'll draw a line. So first I start with the smallest place value. I have 5 ones. I'm trying to take 6 ones from it. Can I do that? No. Why? Because I'd only have 5. I can't give up 6 if I only have 5. So I'm going to go to the tens place. I'm going to grab 1 10. That would only leave 3 tens left. Now I would have not just 5 ones, but 1 10 is equal to 10 ones. So I rename that as 10 ones plus 5 more ones. I have 15. Now I can do the subtraction. 15 minus 6 is 9. Now I go to the tens place. I have 3 tens. I'm trying to subtract 7. I don't have enough again. So now I'm going to need to go get help from the next place value up, which is the hundreds. So if I take 100 from that place value, I only have 2 left there now. If I bring that 100 over to the tens, I get 10 tens for that 100. And then I have 3 more, so 10 plus 3 is 13. I'll try to write that 3 better. So 13. So now I have 13 tens. I'm trying to subtract 7. I can do that. I'll end up with 6. Now I go to the hundreds place. I have 2 hundreds, but I'm trying to subtract 5 hundreds. Can I subtract 5 hundreds from 2 hundreds? No, I cannot. That's not enough. So I need to go get help, and I'm going to get help from the next place value up. It's the thousands place, so I'm going to grab that 1,000 and pour thousands place. Now is left with no thousands. But that 1,000, when I bring it over to the hundreds, it gives me 10 hundreds to put with my 200s. So now I have 12 hundreds. Now I can subtract the 500s from the 1200s, which leaves me 700s. Let's do an estimate real quick for this, because that's estimating should be quick. I have my smallest place value here in the 576 is in the hundreds. So I'm going to round both these numbers to the hundreds to get a more accurate estimate. So 1,345, if I'm rounding to the nearest hundred, would be 1,300. And then 576 rounded to the nearest hundred would be 600. Now subtract these. 0 minus 0, 0, 0 minus 0, 0. And 13 minus 6 is 7. So my estimate is about 700, and that's what my answer is, very close to 700. So 769 is a reasonable answer. Thank you for your attention and your participation. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow and helping us do even better. Have a great evening.